Hi guys, how you doing? Senior Gaming here, and I'm bringing you Valkyrie Idol with equipment upgrades. So you Valkyrie Idol player or perhaps idol gamer, that make sure you subscribe to the channel as I post as often as possible and bring you best tips and advice. And if you enjoy what you see, then smash this like button as well. Right then guys, so we're gonna obviously talk equipment, therefore I'm gonna jump straight into main menu and we're gonna discuss that in greater details. I'm gonna use weapon as an example here. Obviously when it comes to gloves and boots, the principle remains exactly the same. We obviously are fully aware this will give us different perks. So if I tap on this very first weapon, I want to discuss obviously about all this entire menu here, but rather than make a massive lengthy title for this YouTube video, obviously I called it all equipment upgrades. But I want to give you a certain list of priorities on how I want you to focus and approach this aspect of the game. So let's say on this very example, obviously we got a very first D tier weapon, and this is a 4th grade. So anything you're gonna do in the game, I will always want you to promote this gear first. And obviously when I mean promotion, you'll be sacrificing exactly same type of the weapon in this case in order to progress into next star. So obviously you're gonna start with 1 star, progress it into 2, and so on and so on. And once you get a reach of a maximum promotion, your weapon in this case should be on 7 stars. And the reason as well I want you to promote as soon as possible, because for instance I have actually managed to catch myself off guard where my last D tier a grade 1 weapon is only on a 6 stars and I'm still missing some of the actual items to get it all the way to max level. And the reason I managed to get myself in this situation, because as I kept summoning equipment itself, obviously my level itself was also going up, and current summoning level on level 30 will give me a massive advantage when it comes to summoning B grades and A grades, as you see respectively 26 and 29%, but the D grade is only now 7.8. So I have actually missed the boat a little bit, where obviously this chance was higher. So as you're gonna go down in the levels, obviously on level 20 that was 11%, and obviously the higher you go, the higher percentage of these a more sophisticated tiers gonna go up. Okay, so coming back to obviously this very weapon, so that's a reason you want to get your equipment to a 7 stars as possible, so later on you don't need to actually go back and try to hand on these lower tiers. So once we actually manage to get promotion all the way to a max level, this is now on 7 stars, then we need to head over into upgrade. And once you're gonna upgrade it, you'll be able to upgrade every piece of equipment onto level 400. And once you reach this level, you're actually gonna unlock potential option, and this is absolute beast. Because even though now we're talking about D weapon, which I'm definitely not using on a current level where I am, I have now managed to select a triple S in here, roll 4 random equipped effects, and now I'm getting this passive effect by default. And that's the reason why you want to start upgrading your lower tier equipment as soon as possible, because in the long term you're actually gonna benefit from it anyway. So once we manage to promote it max, then we upgrade it max, we roll potential, and now I get myself extra 10% critical attack. I also believe obviously taking your item to level 400, especially in the early stages, will cost you quite a lot of crystals. So if you got a choice, if we just head over into selection itself, depending where you are, if you started to, for instance, to get D, C and B grades all the way to 7 stars, I would definitely like you to prioritize B grade first. So you go for a strongest grade of the items that you currently can go all the way to obviously 7 stars, and this is still besides that if you do, I don't know, unlock a first grade of the S weapon, you always want to upgrade that weapon first. No brainer. You obviously want to reach as high damage as possible and then equip this very weapon. But if I then unlock a very first weapon of the B grade on a 7 stars, I want to hit potential in here first, because as you see in comparison to a D grade, if I'll get that on level 400 and again I roll just a random effects in here, I'm actually getting a 30% critical attack rather than 10. Bear in mind at the same time obviously the upgrade itself will cost respectively more, because this is a now stronger weapon. And then obviously once you upgrade B, and then let's say your A grades are still lacking to get all the way to 7 stars, then no brainer, you then start looking into C's and D's. And perhaps at the time as you're gonna keep upgrading these weapons, then you will start landing some of the 7 stars on A. So you're gonna again go back to that strongest tier wherever possible, and then review if you need to go back into these weaker ones. Okay, So now reviewing back what else we've got in here, we obviously then got Transcend and Synthesis. So Transcend itself obviously will then use any of these Transcendent Stones itself, and another advice in here, obviously some of the weapons are now on a max Transcend, which means yellow stars turning into purple one, but the main principle with this is wherever possible you want to keep it on a similar Transcend level. So what I mean by that, if let's say you want to go with the D grades, and rather than spending quite a lot of resource to get it all the way to a 7 purple stars, bear in mind Transcend itself will cost more, which every star you're going up, so it might cost 10, it will then cost 20, 40, 60, 100, 120 and so on. But for instance, if you just invest into 2 stars in the very first one, 2 stars in the second one, and so on, you're also gonna have a collection bonus. So in these very sets, obviously I need to scroll all the way down, and in here, as you see, you're gonna have a certain percentage. So if you got only first weapon on the max stars and everything else it's not upgraded, you're not getting any perks associated. But once you got everything on 2 stars, these obviously will keep upgrading as you're gonna go along, but you're gonna have certain benefits associated. So that's definitely one of the next things you need to remember. Do not go all berserk into one weapon and then skip everything else, because actually upgrading and transcending all of them together into sets will give you additional boosters. And then finally, when it comes to Synthesis itself, obviously where I have now managed to end up myself in a position where I need some of this promotion, I advise you to actually manually upgrade it. So if I'll go and spend another few 100,000 potentially on a summoning, I will go and manually synthesis that, so I can actually keep progressing from tier 4th into 3rd, into 2nd, and finally 1st one. But as you're gonna follow the advice I gave you on the very beginning, if you are fully promoting and upgrading everything from the levels as you progress, you shouldn't really need to do any of the manual work, and then you can simply synthesize all. And then if you do so, obviously you're gonna keep climbing higher and higher tiers without any problems whatsoever. So that will be it, guys, when it comes to everything related to upgrade of your equipment itself. There are certain priorities and you should just follow this pattern in order to get strong in no time. Thank you very much, guys, for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.